Guys, welcome back, welcome back. Today I will show you why we just got a confirmation that this Bitcoin correction has entered the final stage where we get the flush that we are waiting for. If you want to know what I'm talking about and if you want to see which Black Friday sale I have just created for you guys, then let's go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here once again on this Thursday today. Guys, I always forget which day it is. I'm not even kidding, so I really struggle all the time with days, so if it's Tuesday, Thursday, I have usually never a clue. I only realize what day it is when it's like a weekend or something. So, but that's absolutely fine and normal in the bull market. So let's jump directly into the DXY chart. The DXY keeps breaking down exactly as I explained it yesterday. So that's definitely a good sign for us. I'm not worried about that small bump here back to the upside. You should also not forget that we have now Thanksgiving weekend. That is an extended weekend in the US where nobody is working until Monday. So today the Wall Street is already closed. Tomorrow it's closed. Then we have the weekend. Monday they open again. That also opens up the possibility of a potential bigger CME gap, because CME obviously is also already closed on this Thursday. So, but regardless of that, I expect by Monday that the dollar index will keep dropping lower. Also tomorrow it should be also still, on Monday it will resume trading because it's not even a clock anymore. So also here the DXY has stopped trading already. So now I want to jump in directly into the Black Friday special for you guys, because I need to explain here something. I had to do it myself. I had only less than 24 hours to set everything up, actually only from this morning, so less than 12 hours since I set this up. All these three buttons here lead directly to a sales page where you can pay with crypto for any of my courses. So here SPC stands for the self-paced course, which is just the videos. AC is the assisted course or my mentorship program. All of them have a 50% discount only with these links, guys, not on my website. Only on these links you get the discount. And then you have to go to send me an email at info@amcrypto.us with a screenshot for which course you have paid. And my team gonna respond with login details to my website. Unfortunately, like I said, I had to do it myself. I had not much time to create it any smoother for you, but at least there's a special app. So if you want to take advantage of that, it will be up until Sunday evening. So take advantage of that, because I'm not sure if I ever gonna do this again, because it is definitely worth more than half the price that you would pay right now for it, So honestly, I really don't know if I ever gonna do this again. So take advantage of that while I'm doing it. Now, when we go into Bitcoin, I'm going to show you here now on the 12-hourly chart a little glimpse already why I believe that we start soon to go much lower. So, and it is not the upward sloping trend line where we got rejected from on the 12-hourly chart. It is the stochastic RSI. The stochastic RSI is shaping up here in the form that I have seen many times before, where initially, if you would have only seen until here, below that yellow line, where you would say, oh shit, this looks like we get continuation. But then you get another 12-hourly candle, and then you see that we are rolling slightly over here. And once that is happening, you get another sell signal. And what does Bitcoin at this time? Bam, goes to the downside. So this is what I see here already on the 12-hourly chart potentially unfolding. Also, the RSI is going slightly down, and the MACD will most likely print here continuation in terms of the selling pressure that we are seeing here, while we have now some room to go to the downside to the highest level on the VPVR on the 12-hourly chart, back to $91,000. And I believe if we come back down here, the next time we're going to lose that level, because again, we need that flush candle that just needs to happen. You know, it has to happen for us to get continuation to the upside. So unless we haven't gotten that big, ugly candle where everybody tries to knife catch the Bitcoin price when we are going down, and some people think, oh shit, this is maybe getting really bad, and now Bitcoin does something like this, until we have people questioning this bull run, we need to go lower, guys. You know, so we need to go lower, but the first signs are already written on the wall, you know, so that it's happening now. Now, when we go to the 1 hourly chart, here also, I told you guys, this was a falling broadening wedge, broke out to the upside. Now we are forming technically a bull flag. And here the bull flag target on the 1 hourly chart would be here all the way back up, close to $100,000. But for that, we need to break the bull flag to the upside. But I think here in this scenario, this is a false bull flag. And it happens 3 out of 10 times that also a bull flag breaks to the downside instead of breaking to the upside. So I think this is exactly what we are seeing here right now. And the reason for that is that we are on the 1 hourly chart forming here an evening star formation, candlestick formation, where you have here the first candle going to the upside, the second one creates a wick and a doji candle, and the third candle is reversing the whole move of the first candle. And that is a topping indication and a reversal pattern, which means that we should break lower here if this candle stays this in this shape over the next 52 minutes, because it just opened. Now, what is actually happening exactly now here on the 4-hourly chart? On the 4-hourly chart, here with the MDX algo gradients, first of all, we have this upward sloping trend line that the price was respecting all the time. What do you mean no sound? Let me check. Oh, shit. You guys are right. 1 second. What the fuck is this? No, microphone is there. Oh, guys, you got me for 1 second, man. You got me for 1 second. I was like, what's going on? How can I not have sound? You know, so type quick in the chat. Do you hear me? Because from my end, everything is fine. And then we're going to continue. So let me know. Okay, good. Then let's go. Guys, stop with this nonsense, with sound, no volume, blah, blah. I swear to God, if I see here anyone complaining one more time about the sound, I ban him from the chat. You know, so this is fucking annoying. So as you can see here, on the upward sloping trend line, we were respecting this for a really, really long time. And then we broke it down. And here, when we hit the golden ratio and were reversing, people were like, oh shit, Bitcoin is going up from here again and will continue now and breaks $100,000 and goes higher. But here we got rejected and now we are below it. And I'm going to show you now in a moment how this is going to unfold in the future. But first, the MDX algo gradients showing us that the Bitcoin price theoretically is warming up here a little bit. So, but I have a problem with that. And my problem is that here on the reactor indicator, we did not get a bullish divergence yet. And we need usually 2, like here, 2, to continue the uptrend. And we did not even print one of them. So that is, for me, another warning sign that Bitcoin is still coming a little bit lower before we are going back to the upside. So, and then the other problem is that if I show you this here now, let me actually, I have to redraw this. So here, that is the confirmation that I was waiting for. That Bitcoin is here going up and down, up and down, up and down, you know, and we are holding this uptrend line. We're holding this uptrend line. And then at some point, we are breaking the uptrend line, retesting the uptrend line now as resistance. And what happens afterwards? This here is a textbook example, you know, so you get a rejection to the downside and you start to enter now a bearish market structure. So we had here a bullish market structure where we were respecting the upward sloping trend, you know, so until you lose the trend and then the trend is changing, and that means also the market structure is changing, and you go from an uptrend into a downtrend. And you know the saying, guys, the trend is your friend until the end, and now the end is here. The trend is not our friend anymore for the foreseeable future, which will be really, really short-lived, you know. So I don't expect that this is going on for a really long time, that we are staying below the downward sloping trend line. But that is one of the signs that I was waiting for, where we get now this potential flush to the downside here into the big buy clusters in the demand areas, all the way down here to $87,000. Here we maybe get another short-term bounce when we come down here, but it will look like this. So, and only here somewhere we start forming a W and then reversing back to the upside. Now, on ZoomX, I will be honest, guys, the Bitcoin trade that I had here since yesterday, I have closed it at $95,600. I took profit there because it was too juicy, guys. You know, see, at $95,500. I took $30,000 profit here because I saw that we got rejected from this upward sloping trend line, and I was like, no way that I give away all the money that I made, you know. So I rather run with the money and let this play out to the downside, and then get all the other orders filled. And then on the way back up at some level, I just gonna add the money that I had in that trade position, you know. So which was like, I think $100,000 or something was in this trade. What was in this trade? Yeah, I have to figure it out later. So my Phantom trade is still running, but also this one I might close really soon. Otherwise, I will just keep dollar cost averaging to the downside the same way that I do with Solana. So now for the competition, guys, we have only 24 hours left, actually a little bit less, where you can enter in the competition. Guys, I see in Telegram you have so many questions, and some of them are honestly ridiculous, you know. So I have to say it, guys, it's ridiculous. I explain everything here on the stream every single day how it works, you know. So you need to sign up. Only if you sign up in that event period, you will be eligible to take part in a trade competition. But regardless if you're eligible for the competition or not, you still get all the signals, you still get everything as long as you're in the Telegram group, you know. So it doesn't change anything, you know, it doesn't change anything. So you still get everything, you know. So, but everybody, the only difference is people that take part in the competition get $55 on top of that, plus that we are potentially sharing here another $10,000 of a rewards pool provided by ZoomX. So, and you only need to sign up with the link that is in the description of the video, and you are automatically in the competition if you deposit at least $500, you know. So automatically, you don't need to do anything else. You sign up, you deposit $500, you're in it, you know. So if you signed up already, okay, you cannot take part directly in the competition, but you can still trade with us without any problems, you know. So there's no issue. So, and here, guys, come on, guys, we need 20 more people today, then we're at 200, and then we reach our goal here to get 200 people in the competition. It would be amazing if we can make it happen. So if you don't have a ZoomX account, go into the description in the pinned comment, in the description below. There is the link to take part in the competition. Again, I will show you how we turned $555 into $10,000 in that competition in the next 3 weeks, guys. In the next 3 weeks, we are going to do it. Now, when we go back to Bitcoin, to the liquidation levels, here we have now taken out major over-leveraged long positions to the downside that were sitting here. And what did people do when it bounced? They just open new longs over-leveraged. So they get potentially today again flushed here at $93,300. Then this liquidity is gone. And then we will start grinding, in my opinion, here in direction of $89,000 to take out the underlying lower leveraged liquidity before we then get that bounce back here in direction of $100,000. And you see the same thing happening also on the liquidation heat map. When I refresh it right now, look here, the hottest areas with the highest concentration of liquidity are below us here at 94,600. And then here at 93,770, and then all the way down here to $92,980. So also here you see there is a lot of confluence why we should reach at least like 92,000 what was it, $900 or something like that. Only on the 24-hour chart. On a weekly chart, you see here, there we can still go a lot lower, but I will actually want to go to the monthly chart. So here on the monthly chart, you see, so here, the hottest areas that are closest to the price action, they only stop here at $85,000 approximately. So again, I don't believe that we go that low, but here into the first small gap here, until like $87,000, that is like the max pain, in my opinion, that we are going to go down when we start flushing here all the liquidity out of the market. Then on the weekly chart, we are forming already the candle that I was speaking about last time, which is actually not that good that it's happening already, where I explained to you guys that we will midweek, I was actually right about that, midweek start pulling back to the upside, and then next week potentially get then that reversal and continue to go higher. So now, over the next couple of days, what most likely is going to happen is that we give back a lot of the price action to the upside that we just regained. So we go a little bit lower again. And then we need to hope that by Sunday evening that we start to retrace again back to the upside and reclaim what we have lost between today and Sunday. And then we get here a kind of bullish candle close for this week, So even if it's a red candle with a long wick tail like this is still considered bullish. So the other thing is, it could happen that we close somewhere here in the golden ratio, which would technically be bearish, but next week's candle is reversing the whole move. So I am with next week, next week I'm not worried at all, as long as we start pushing here down into the golden ratio over the next 4 days. If that's not happening and it happens next week and we open below $93,000, below this top here of that candle, then we could potentially pull back a little bit lower than the golden ratio, and then only the following week do something like this here. So that's why I rather have this week's candle move all the way down into the golden ratio. I don't care where we touch the golden ratio, just somewhere. And then next week we can immediately reverse it and confirm the golden ratio as support. If that's not happening, then we run risk that the pullback next week will be a little bit lower than the golden ratio, even though we're gonna pull it back. And then the week afterwards, we get something like this, So I just want to save us like 3 weeks of nonsense price action where Bitcoin does not a lot, So, but it only works if it plays out exactly the same way that I described it. Then on Bybit, guys, you still get $500 free airdrop position to position yourself for the upcoming move in major altcoins. Many of them I'm going to cover again today here on that stream. The only thing that you need to do here is deposit $100 and you get free $500 as an airdrop position here on Bybit. Really easy. You sign up, use the link, deposit $100, claim the voucher, use the voucher. All the profits belong to you. And you can also technically trade this in the competition. You deposit $100 and you trade with $500 in the competition, and you're going to see how far you're going to get with this, So here on Bybit, I will be, again, transparent with you guys. I have still here this mantle position running. It was today already in profit. Now it's again a little bit down, but I'm going to keep it. And I had a render trade open, but I did not make a lot of money on that, so just some breakfast money, So I could only buy breakfast from this, $241. And yeah, that's all what I could do with that, So, but it's fine, So I was seeing if I can squeeze a little bit more out of it, So I'm not in the mood of taking too much risk right now. So I'm just playing around here left, right, and center a little bit because I want to preserve all the money that I made, So I have here almost $170,000 on this account. This account was at $8,000 2 months ago, So I don't want to lose that money, So that's why I'm sitting in cash, besides the limit orders that I've set on the trades that I have. And I want to make sure when that drop is happening that I'm ready, that I have as much money as possible to buy as low as possible and then take all the upside with me, So, and that should be also your plan. Here with the Bitcoin dominance, we broke now below the rising wedge pattern that we have on the Bitcoin dominance. But regardless of that, I still believe we are going to see a move here like this, where we come back up, where the dominance is shooting up when Bitcoin is going down. Then we get that small pullback, we create a lower high, and then we break here below the 58% level on the dominance. With the total free market cap, we saw already the first part of that move playing out, where we went to $983 billion of total market cap here on the total free. Now we are in that pullback phase. Here I expect also a small bounce here back to like $945 billion, and then that bigger pullback all the way down to $835 billion with that move again coinciding with Bitcoin going to the downside. So I'm gonna have a quick look here in the chat what's going on here. Let me pop out the chat. So the nice thing is I have the chat on my laptop, so I can actually see much better what's going on and don't need to ruin my neck, you know, by turning it all the way to the other screen in my office. Okay, so we continue. Let's continue here, guys. There we go. So now Ethereum had a massive move here to the upside. Remember, guys, I warned you about this, that this can happen. But I also said, don't expect that we move higher than $3,700. So where did we get stopped? At $3,690. That's where we got stopped. Here's also the 0.786 on the Fibonacci levels. Another reason where we got stopped here is big resistance from the past that I also mentioned the other day. So here also we are running risk right now to roll over. Look here at the RSI, stochastic RSI, everything starts to roll over. And here again, I still expect that we come down to the EMA ribbon, to the bottom of the buy range here at $3,100, $3,200. So if you want to set limit orders, that's where I would set them because I think that this big move that we had yesterday, we're going to completely retrace this and then turn around here and go in direction of $4,000. So the only reason why it's not happening right now and not aggressively is because on a weekly chart, the Ethereum Bitcoin chart is still pumping into the upside. Remember, I told you guys, we are forming here a Morningstar pattern and we keep moving here higher and going to close it that way. So, and then if Bitcoin starts coming down over the next coming days, then maybe even as late as Monday, Tuesday next week, only then you're going to see with next week's candle, the Ethereum Bitcoin chart bleeding a little bit, and then you see altcoins coming down. So, and that's what I'm basically waiting for, because on the daily chart, you know, so we are pulling back right now a little bit, but this is not concerning, you know. So if you get something like this here, this is bleeding, you know, so this is bleeding where altcoins get hammered, you know. So, and that's what I want to see, guys, you know. So that's what I want to see with Ethereum coming down on the dollar pairing the same time, and then you get major discounts on altcoins. So here, something else what I want to show you again on altcoins with Solana. So here, remember what I said yesterday? I said, look at these 4-hourly candles, you know, so you think we're going nicely up, you know, so you look at the percentage gains. Solana looks like it regained a lot of what was lost, but then you look at the dollar price and you realize, wait a second, Solana is up like 6% today, but the dollar price is like 10% lower than where it was like 2 days ago, you know. So, and this, again, guys, I told you, this is like a mirage, you know, so it's not true, you know. People get fooled with their eyes, you know, by the green that they see on the watch list and ignore that we have not created a higher high, you know, and keep creating lower highs since the high up here, which is bearish, you know. So, and then at the same time, follow the same path, this path here, that Bitcoin is going now. And as long as we are not breaking this downward sloping trend here, Solana will keep going lower, you know. So, and I'm ready to buy at 210, 205, 200, 190. These are the levels where I want to buy on the way down, you know. So, because usually when you start forming a structure like that, you get decapitulation, and decapitulation is the end of that that trend, and then we reverse back to the upside. So I want to buy at the end of the capitulation with limit orders and hope for the best, that I catch as much orders as possible at the cheapest price as possible, where I think that we're going to go. And then we reverse back to the upside, and that is where we make all the money, guys. You know, so that's what we want to see here. So, and also Uniswap yesterday. Uniswap pumped like crazy, you know, but what did I tell you guys? I said, I'm not buying. Let it pump. I don't care, you know. So, and we did pump over 20% on Uni, and I saw people flipping out, not only in my Telegram chat, I saw it on Twitter everywhere, and they said, everybody's wrong, so alt season, so now today you see it pulling back again below that big resistance here at $13, and I tell you it's going to close below that. And when you go to the 4-hourly chart, you start to see early signs of the same pattern that we have everywhere else. So you have here your up move, down move, lower high, and guess what? It will continue to do stuff like this, so it will come down all the way down here to potentially $8.50 again, so which is not an insane move, so this is a 20% move to the downside, so maybe 30% actually. So this is a 30% move, to the downside. But this is most likely what's going to happen. That it somewhere stops between $9.58 and $8.60. Somewhere in between there, it's going to stop to drop, and that's where you want to buy before it goes back up. So, but I tell you, it's not gonna happen that you're gonna see now that this flies to past $15.60 and potentially gets closer to the prior all-time high. So it's just not going to happen. So even though you have here a buy signal soon on the 4-hourly chart, but the RSI is here turning around, and on the higher time frames, everything turned around already, so, and that tells you already what's going to happen, so, and that's why I have my buy zone down here between $7.87 and $8.64, and here that dotted line, so that's where I kind of dip my toe into the water to see where we are going, So I open a small position, and then the lower it drops, the more I buy, until we reach here that green zone. And there I buy as much as I can with the allocation that I have for Uni. And then we reverse back to the upside. So and you see here the same thing on SNX, so here the 12-hourly chart also coming down on the indicators, price action rejected from that resistance here, from the dotted line. And when you go to the daily chart, also here you see we just turned around. Also here, the green box is where I want to buy, $1.82 all the way down to $1.70. Get briefly below that downward sloping trend line. But I believe once we are coming here to the downward sloping trend line, it will be just a wick, just a wick down here, quick, comes back up and does something like this really quickly on SNX. Then on Alpha X, I have still my limit order on Phantom here. You see that is currently what I have here. And remember, I did this with $180, guys. $180, $160 within 3 weeks. I turned this into $2,300 without breaking a sweat. If you want to trade with me on Alpha X, guys, decentralized, no KYC, nothing, then use the link in the description. You get $100 just for signing up. Plus, if you deposit $100, you stand a chance to win twice per week, also $500 with Alpha X, guys. This will still keep going during the competition with ZoomX, where I gonna pull winners for Alpha X. So make use of that, because Christmas is also coming really, really soon. So now on Phantom also we are keep creating lower highs here over the last couple of the 4-hourly chart. So here over, what's this on yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. Then also here today already. And guess what? Price is already moving here in direction of below $1. So once we are breaking $1, we should get a little bit of acceleration, because look here, here's a support level. We should get a small acceleration to the downside, most likely like to 95 cents, maybe a little bit lower, maybe 92 cents. Then you get a bounce again with a lower high. Then you get the continuation to the downside. So, but with Phantom, things have changed a little bit in terms of my limit orders. I still need to change them because we moved here to $1.13. I think I need to move them up a little bit. So the limit orders that I have below 84 cents, I have to cancel all of them and now start to layer my orders from like 93 cents all the way down to 84 cents. So here in between, I'm gonna layer my orders to make sure that I get filled when that flush is happening. So, and then when it turns back up, already, so there's where we make all our money. Because on the daily chart, when you look at it on the daily chart. So here we are also just starting to turn around. But now when you look at my buy zone, in terms of where the price is currently, this looks now far away, guys. You know, so this is not so close anymore like it was a couple of days ago when we were up here, you know. So that's why I believe this here is right now like your lottery ticket, you know. So if I get filled down here, that's my lottery ticket, you know. So you will not get this again when it dips down there. So that's why I start to move up my orders a little bit for Phantom. I only trade isolated, guys. Then HNT is here above the falling wedge pattern that it formed. It is currently holding up really, really strong, I must say. But also here on the daily chart, you know the drill, guys. You know, so this looks also like that we going to fall back into the falling wedge. And here again, the green box is where I want to buy. Just something that you know, guys, these green boxes, I don't pull them randomly. These are golden ratios, you know, so there are 0.618s, 1.618s on the retracement levels where I want to buy, which are historically and statistically the best places and the most accurate places where price is going to retrace to. And that's why there's a high probability that you get filled there. That's why I have them sitting there. So here at $5.90 and $5.83. So that is like a 14% move to the downside. You know, it's not even a crazy one from current price. You know, so okay, almost 12% to the downside. So when Bitcoin starts dropping, you know, 12% in an altcoin is not much. You know, it's really not much. So, but this is where I'm gonna buy for HNT. So the next one, Avi broke actually the resistance at $199, but also here we are pulling back currently on the daily chart. Also, everything points to a steeper pullback right now on the higher time frames. Here, my buy zone, $170 all the way down to $159, or a touch of the upward sloping trend line. I don't believe that we are going to lose that trend line, but a touch is definitely here in the cards, even if it's just a quick wick at some point. It can be at 163, it can be at 174, you know, so at some point, price will come and touch that trend line, and I'm buying when we touch the trend line. It can be in that green box. It can also happen a little bit later, you know, so I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but when it's going to happen, and we get either the green box with a touch of that trend line, or we get it slightly afterwards, that's where I'm going to open an RV position to trade this into a new all-time high. The next one is Rune. Rune, here you can see really beautifully how we get rejected here over and over and over from the downward sloping resistance line since we put in this local top here at $6.63. And here, I don't have to explain you know, so the path is clear, you know, so look at this here, all the way down here, up, down, lower highs, all the way. So until we come back to like $5, maybe even here to that trend line of $4.60. So I will start buying at around the $5 mark and then all the way down to that trend line. You know, so again, I'm layering my orders here because the next time when Rune is reversing back to the upside, regardless if it happens here or down here, the next time that it comes here to this trend line, it's going to break it after the bigger move here to the downside. So and that's why you want to be in, regardless if it's $5 or $4.60, it doesn't matter. When we come to the trend line, we're almost up 8-9% from these levels. You know, if we go lower, of course, way more. But that's why you want to buy at these levels, you know, because when we break this trend line, we go way higher and you're going to sit in a lot of cash at that moment in time. Then why did I lose connection here? Then Sui is holding up really, really strong here, I must say, over the last couple of days. I was surprised to see that because I believed when we got closer to the $3 level that Sui will now move into the golden ratio here to $2.84, $2.80. And from there, we get the bounce back to the upside and will run in the opposite direction of where Bitcoin is going. So now I lost the chart because I reconnected. So here, there we go. So but now we are trading at $3.48 currently. But regardless of that, I think when Bitcoin turns around, because look here how high the indicators are and how they're turning around, and also here the shape of the stochastic is not looking good, I still believe that Sui will have another leg to the downside and is going to flush here into the golden ratio. So because we have then technically retraced the whole move since we broke above $2.80. So this happens many, many times in a bull run, that we do that we retrace a whole move, and then we get continuation. So about the Black Friday, the 50%, you get my courses in the assisted one. Look at on my website. I'm gonna here look at the website. You find everything, all the infos that you are looking for there on my website. So I don't want to waste now too much time to explain you exactly what you get with the assisted course. Just check it on the website. There's all the information when you click on courses. So just click on courses. And something else I want to point out, guys, I will not message you privately. You know, it doesn't matter on Discord, Telegram, WhatsApp, you know, Instagram, TikTok, it doesn't matter. I will not write you privately to try to get money from you because of the ZoomX competition, because of the course, because of whatever, you know. So I'm not texting you first and ask you for money. I'm never doing this. Never. Unless my team told me that you paid something partially, or you need another wallet address, you know, so, and you want that I send it, you know. Only in these cases I'm sending you stuff, you know, otherwise I'm never doing it, you know. So that's why only use the links that I personally gave you, like here with the Black Friday sale, you know, my link tree, and here my official website domain, you know. So only use these links, you know. Don't get fooled by any scammers out there and that try to pretend to be me, you know. So because we saw it in the Telegram channel already with a guy that tried to scam somebody by saying the $500 need to be deposited somewhere else than ZoomX, you know, which is nonsense. So, but here, let's continue. So, yeah, so retracing the whole move here on Sui most likely. Then for FXS, we don't need to talk about it. It's this boring coin to me, but Arbitrum. Arbitrum is interesting, guys. I'm really getting interested here in Arbitrum. So here also Arbitrum had a nice move here yesterday to the upside. Insane move to the upside, actually. But also here, we are on the way down already. This is one of the coins that is always a little bit over dramatic, I would say, because it's just really sensitive, you know. So that coin is really sensitive to price movements in Ethereum and in Bitcoin. Ethereum puts a little bit back, you know, so Arbitrum is one of the first coins that moves really quickly to the downside, you know, so when this is happening. So, which is fine, you know, because I want to buy this in the best case scenario, close or below the golden ratio, you know. So here I start buying around the 82-cent level when this comes down, because here I definitely see 4, 5, potentially even 6 days of downwards movement in Arbitrum before it's going to hit the bottom. But when we get here into the golden ratio, there I'm gonna start buying massively Arbitrum spot and leverage positions for that reversal to go past the dollar when we are turning around. So here my first target still remains like $1.15. There, if we go back here to like 80 cents, then the first time where I take a little bit profit and raise my stop loss will be at $1.15, not earlier. Then the next one, Lido, also crazy move here over the last couple of days to the upside from here like $1.10 to almost $1.90. So that is a crazy move, guys. You know, so look at this here. From here $1.07, we moved 72% almost in how many days? In six days, you know, so this is crazy, you know, 6 days, over 70%. So now we are pulling back, which is absolutely normal after a move like that. We most likely also here come back down to the downward sloping trend line, which would be over 30% pullback. But also here, let me show it to you. If I draw here a box, this is the box where I want to buy, you know, so here $1.30 to $1.20 in that range. That's where I want to buy when this is coming down right now. So Then the next one, Theta. Theta is here in that rising wedge pattern. The rising wedge starts to break down now. Once this is breaking down, this will come back also to like $1.60, $1.70 at least, you know, potentially even all the way back to like $1.44. I have closed my Theta position at $2.03 yesterday. Now, in hindsight, that was a really, really good decision to do that. Because I did not look at the chart. I did not see where the rising wedge was at that moment. I just saw in my trading account, okay, it's struggling to go over $2.03. Maybe I should close the trade and buy lower, you know. So that's what I basically did. So here, $1.44, $1.70, that's the range where I'm gonna re-enter into this trade and then trade this in a direction of $3 and potentially higher. And I believe tomorrow that Theta is going to break down here from that rising wedge to the downside. Next one is Link. Link has also here an upward sloping trend line, a horizontal resistance that we tap now multiple times, and here massive, massive supply with a lot of sell orders that created here a double top for Link. And that here is already a lower high. It's slightly below the previous one. But here also, I believe we're going to break this upward sloping trend and come here back to like $16.30, $15.64, something like that. And in this area, I want to buy. And then also here, trade this past $20 into a new all-time high. So this is a position where I will not put too much money in it. Let it be $5,000, $10,000. So from my perspective, you know, so for my portfolio, it's not a lot of money. And that is a position that I just let run. You know, I'm gonna let it run until the end of the bull run. And I believe Link can actually hit over $100 in this bull run with all the tech that they are building and all the intersections with other protocols that they have, and also real world application that they have. I think that can run easily into over $100. So now do the math. You know, I trade with $10,000 on 5x leverage. It runs 7 times higher than the current price. So that is 7x multiplied with 5x. So I make 35x on my money that I put in. So if I put $10,000 in, I make $350,000 if I'm right. You know, so that is how I calculate for positions that are gonna hold over the whole bull run. You know, so I set my targets. And my targets, I decide if I want to cut it. You know, if I take the money and run, or if I set a stop loss and I let it run higher, and then just keep trailing up my stop loss. You know, so this is the usual strategy that I have in a bull run with positions like that. Like I did the same with Pancake Swap, where I made all my money with. You know, so and many people know about this that were already around at the time when I did not have a YouTube channel. And here it's nothing different for me. So now I want to do quickly 3-4 coins that you guys want. And ask me anything else in regards of the drop, you know, if you have any questions. There's something else that I want to mention here quick while you write me some coins in the chat. It can, so for the, let me, how to phrase that. So for the unsuspected case that the market turns around and starts running out of nowhere for whatever reason, you also need to look at levels where you can actually buy if that is happening, you know. So and what and how you're gonna do that is by looking at all these resistances, like here on Link, you know. So or you go here to Phantom, you know, and you put this on a 4-hourly chart. These downward sloping resistance lines, unless they are not broken when price is reversing, don't trade it. Wait for price to come to you. You should not forget, we have another, how many months do we have approximately? We have another 9 to 11 months to print money like crazy. You know, so let price action come to you and not try to chase it, even if it turns around. You know, so you want to make sure if it turns around that it breaks resistance, and only then enter this for continuation to the upside. So okay, you bought now a little bit higher than you anticipated, but it happens, you know. At some point you get another pullback and then you get it right, you know. So that is how you trade things like that. But right now it looks like that we first move everywhere to the downside, you know, get our orders filled, so we get lucky this time. and then we trade this back to the upside. But just for the unsuspected case that out of nowhere Ethereum Bitcoin chart starts mooning, you know, and all the altcoins are not dropping and they're just turning around, you need to know where you get back into the market, you know. And for me, that is at all the resistance levels that I have shown you. So now let me have a look here. KSM. Let's do Polygon first. But I'm gonna use the new Polygon poll. Come on. Wait. We're just gonna use here. Did I not here put somewhere Polygon already on the list? I think I did. Just need to find it. Where is it? I know I had it here somewhere already. Okay, it's not here. And not on my precious phantom chart. We do this here on the SUI chart. So here, Bybit. So here, again, on the 4-hourly chart, for Polygon, you would think, oh, this looks bullish. Stochastic about to print a buy signal. RSI slightly going up. But I still see there a small downturn. And, again, a broadening wedge. A falling broadening wedge pattern here. So I try to see if I can actually draw something else out of this. You can also make the case here for a symmetrical triangle if you want. So with a symmetrical triangle, the problem is, again, 3 out of 10 times it can break to the downside before it's going so 3 out of 10 times can break to the downside instead of breaking to the upside. So I was reading something in the chat at the same time. My brain was not working properly. So here on the daily chart, also here, I see more downside, you know, when I look at this. So in the first level that comes to mind here where it can go is the underlying support, you know. So here's support, here's support. So here I would buy, you know, around 44 to 45 cents. This would be the level where I would buy when it comes down. So Bitcoin breaking out, gonna have a quick look here. Not really breaking out. This is nothing. Look at you need to put perspective on that, you know. If I look on the 50 minutes chart, it looks like Bitcoin goes crazy on the 5 or 50 minutes chart. If I look on the 4-hourly chart, I see just another doji candle, you know. So here's nothing really happening yet for Bitcoin. Only when we start breaking above $96,700, you know, so then something is happening. But until then, nothing really is happening right now because we need to reclaim the upward sloping trend line. So where was the Polygon chart? So here. Next one. Ethereum, I just talked about it. AVAX. AVAX is good. Let's see here, AVAX. Where do I have my AVAX chart? AVAX. So AVAX also here on the 4-hourly chart. Currently pulling back, you know, so the MACD printed already continuation. I think AVAX is front running some coins out there right now. Because this is what I see on many coins happening, you know, so where you get the impression that the MACD will now turn bullish because of these lighter red candles, and then you get continuation, darker red candles, stochastic going lower, RSI going sideways, and when you go into the higher time frames, then you see here, look how ugly the stochastic looks, you know. So if this is not confirming a sell signal today, then I don't know what's going on, you know. So, and here the RSI already pointing down. We are at resistance, you know, pulling down. So here the first level that I want to buy AVAX again is around $35. So $35 is like a 15% move to the downside. We are potentially forming here also a head and shoulders pattern, an ugly one, you know. I'm gonna admit this is ugly, but this is technically an inverse head and shoulder, head and shoulders pattern, you know. So with a neckline, let me see, do I get this a little bit cleaner on the 1-hourly chart? Yes. So here on the 1-hourly chart, so here, there you go. There's your inverse, there's your head and shoulders pattern. And look at that. So if we break down, it should come down like to $33. if I buy at 34, 35, you know, so who cares about 3%? You know, 3, 4, 5%. I don't care about that. You know, I trade with 3x leverage. So that means I have like a 15% pullback on my trade. Once it comes back above $35, I'm in the green, you know, and it keeps running. So, or I just add a little bit more to average my entry price down, you know, so that I get quicker back into profits. So, but this is not looking good for AVAX, you know. So I would not enter AVAX currently because the higher time frames, they all want to pull back regardless which coin this is. So I'm gonna do one more quick. Let me see here. With Phantom, I'm gonna buy 25 and 75. That's the percentage that I'm gonna use. No, actually 25, 50, and 25 I'm gonna leave on the side just in case that we go lower. If we start to go back up from 84 and I see we keep pushing, then I just add the 25% that I had on the side at a later stage before we break 93. Yes, I would not short. Shorts is suicide right now, you know, so I would not start trading shorts right now. The next one, no, Polkadot. Let's see what do ICP also. I did ICP not for a long time, and I had a look yesterday at ICP, I think. So ICP here also head and shoulders pattern forming on the 1 hourly time frame, same like AVAX, neckline. If I look at this could bring us back to like $8.50 kinda. On the higher time frames, also we turned around here. We got rejected from the Fibonacci extension level from the 1.618. So here usually the pullback goes at least to the 0.786, you know, to $9.38 or even lower into the golden ratio down here to around $9, $8.85, something like this. So this is what I would be looking out for. So basically retracing this whole one pump candle. So once that then we have retraced this whole move, we start going to back up. So and you want to buy as close as you can to the bottom of that candle, and when we are starting to retrace the move. Guys, I have to run. I have somebody waiting in a couple of minutes for me. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Don't forget, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And don't forget, tomorrow we started to trade from $500 to $10,000. So see you then. Bye-bye.